have a heart for reaching people. And that's one of the reasons why I became a constitutional coach with the Patriot Academy, because people need to learn the Constitution. They need to understand what our founding fathers went through. You know, whenever I talk about our founding fathers pledging to each other their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor, I think about even what Benjamin Rush said. So Benjamin Rush is known as the father of the public school system, but not the public school system that we have today. It was a different vision back then. But public schools up until the 60s, they actually taught love for God, love for country, and love for family. And it was in that order: God, country, and then family. And Benjamin Rush says the reason why country comes after God and before family is because if we ever lose control of our country, then it will become the great enemy of our family. And this is something, and that's something that whenever you talked about standing up for what's right, refusing to put on a mask to go, celebrate your baby sister's birthday. It was her birthday, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's part of that, because other people say, well, this is family. You got to make sacrifices for family. Well, it's like if you just focus on that tree, you're completely missing the forest. And when you look at the rest of the forest, that's not only going to destroy our family, it's going to destroy families all over the country, because like you said, they're looking to see just how far are they willing to allow us to go. And this is why our founding fathers believed in a limited Republican form of government. Limited just simply, it doesn't necessarily mean small. Limited just means that government has a certain jurisdiction. I live in Conroe. If I'm Conroe Police Department, I can't drive down to Corpus Christi and still be a cop and pull people over. Why? That's not my jurisdiction. I have a certain jurisdiction. And the federal government has a very certain jurisdiction. But what's happened is that the federal government has incrementally been going outside of that jurisdiction, and they're using things like natural disasters, wars, calamities, things like that, some of which they're creating themselves, but they're using those things to then, and they're seeing its citizens that are hurting, and they're saying, well, hey, we can help you, but you're going to have to give this up. And over time, over decades, this has been going on. So all of a sudden now we've gone from here all the way to here. And we look back and we wonder, how did we cover this much space? And so I personally believe that we're living in a time where liberty is an illusion. It's almost like we're plugged into a matrix, and the people that have been red pilled are trying to red pill everybody else. But we don't really have liberty anymore.
I forget the author of the quote, where it was, those who would give up little liberty for safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. I think that was Franklin. Yeah, okay. I'm going to test my memory there. Benjamin Franklin, yeah. But that's one of my favorite quotes, and it's just like, it's so crystal clear and so succinct that sometimes that alone just makes it go over people's heads. Because people want to look here, oh, what did he really mean by this? And that's why we have so many issues right now, because you've got individuals right now who want to go through the Constitution. If you're a leftist, you want to go through and cherry pick, oh, what does this really mean? What does the Second Amendment mean? The Second Amendment literally tells you exactly what it means. There's no need to look into it any deeper than that. But because people want to say, oh, well, maybe they meant this, maybe they meant that. The individuals who wrote our founding documents are some of the most prescient individuals in all of human history, I would argue, because they foresaw what could possibly happen if individuals devolved to the level that we've devolved to today. And, people are very quick to eulogize and really lift up our founding fathers like they were some sort of superhuman individuals. These were 20-something-year-olds who, for one reason or another, had the forethought to include so much in our founding documents. And they gave up so much, like you mentioned earlier, that some of them gave up their lives. Some of them paid with their fortunes. Some of them had their family members executed, by the British during the war. So many people gave up actual stuff, but they still stuck true and held firm to these values because it meant so much to them. And now here we got individuals who, oh, I love freedom. Oh, put on the mask. Okay. I'm sorry. Like, how do you go from one extreme to the other? You either are going to be a son or daughter of liberty, or you are not. And if you're not going to stand with those individuals who put it all on the line for you, for your freedoms today, then I would argue that you do not fully grasp how much of a gift you've been given, and you're more than willing to give that gift away to someone else.